Show summer who's boss with Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance.
It is a normal morning in Los Angeles and everyone is going through the usual routine on the busy streets. Before going to work, the new director of the city's Office of Emergency Management, Mike, is making breakfast for him and his 13-year-old daughter Kelly, who has been having some attitude problems because of her parents' recent divorce. Father and daughter are supposed to be leaving on vacation today, but suddenly, an earthquake strikes the city. It is short but quite strong, and at the hospital, Dr. Calder has to hold onto her patient to stop him from falling off the stretcher. Mike still decides this is an emergency and he will go to work instead of vacation, so Kelly will stay with a babysitter. When he makes it to the office, his comment
and subscribe.
Takes a look himself and discovers that the water main ruptured and the gas is gone too. Meanwhile at the park, a few construction workers are working on the Red Line subway extension but also betting on the magnitude of the earthquake. Suddenly they hear a report. Mike goes to the park and learns that the ground. Unfortunately it is still a theory and she lacks the evidence to convince Mike, who finds the idea of lava in LA ridiculous. Meanwhile nobody notices that the statue in the park fountain is slowly sinking. Later in the evening, Amy and her assistant Rachel inspect the accident scene in the storm drain, where they locate a fracture in the ground that released the gases earlier. The duo wanders the underground tunnels taking samples and looking for an explanation when suddenly another earthquake hits the area. This one is stronger and cuts down power in the whole city. At home, Mike rushes out of bed to find his daughter and takes her to a safe spot. Underground, the night train driver tries to stop the vehicle, but it still crashes against falling debris. The quake cracks a hole in the tunnel where the scientists are, and Rachel falls, leaving her hanging off the edge. Amy tries to save her, but the smoke is getting stronger and the tunnel is becoming hotter by the second. A burning explosion of steam hits Rachel and burns her to death, leaving Amy in shock. When she comes out of the tunnel, she notices the fountain water is boiling. Little by little generators are turned on in the most important buildings in town. Mike leaves home and brings Kelly with him, thinking he can keep her safe at the office. Suddenly huge steam geysers begin coming out from every manhole on the streets. Cars stop to wait, but it only keeps getting worse and now there is smoke and rocks falling all over the place. Mike watches a huge smoke curtain in shock before the little rocks are replaced by actual lava bombs, which begin causing fires whenever they land. Some houses explode, and buildings and other structures like traffic lights get destroyed as the falling debris causes accidents for the citizens that try to drive away in panic. At the MTA office, Albert hears about the train stuck in the tunnels and decides to lead a team to rescue them. Meanwhile the driver calms down the terrified passengers and tries to get out, but the doors are stuck. Back on the streets, Calder is stuck in traffic too, and she watches how the lava bombs hit one of the arriving fire trucks. Mike stops the car to try to calm citizens down, but many people are already looting stores. Someone steals Amy's equipment while she is distracted by the fact there is ash falling everywhere. As firefighters over the place because they only have 20 minutes to get it all ready, and sooner than expected, notices Kelly and the little boy in the path of the explosions. He runs as fast as he can and pushes his daughter and the boy down as the entire building collapses. Fortunately the plan goes perfectly and the half the city. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.